15 years ago, or maybe even longer, I was dragging around these sleds around neighborhoods all throughout like Los Angeles. It was like the only piece of training equipment that I had in my garage. And obviously I'd still go to the gym and stuff like that, but it was super convenient. You just pull the sled out, pull it forward, pull it backwards, grab it and pull it, and turn the other way and bench press it. Great way to keep yourself fit, and a great way to build up some strength and some general physical preparedness, build up some conditioning. See, right now I'm going, he's going, no rest. Only rest Andrew's getting is the active rest right there with his walk, as I'm going here. When you breathe out of your nose, try to push a little bit more air out than what you were breathing in. So you go 4 seconds in. Here we go. You can really slow down your pulse doing that. You can get your heart rate back to where it needs to be. You'll feel uncomfortable. If you're really uncomfortable, just breathe in out of your mouth if you need to. But don't return to your exercise until you feel fit enough, until you feel ready enough to do the next movement. Yesterday I did this, and the day before I did it. I did a lot less talking during my training. The first 2 workouts I've ever done, they were like that, and they were a real kick in the ass, and I had to hang over that hammer strength machine over there like this for a little bit. And I was actually really worried that I wasn't gonna be able to get my breath back through my nose, but I talked myself into it. I'm like, all right, just chill, you can do it. About 4 or 5 seconds of being like really, pretty uncomfortable went. It came and it went, and I was good to go. So you'll be able to do it, I just feel like you can't do it. If you feel woozy or you feel sick or anything weird, just freaking open up your mouth and breathe until you can get used to something tougher with the nose. Let's have you hit up the leg curl. So do the hammies, do the tricep push down, and then come back to the sled. This is pairing up 2 very easy, stable exercises, machine exercises, with one, I guess, tougher exercise. You can walk and you can pull as many times as you want, or you can just walk, whatever way you want to do. Doing some palms up, supination, some rowing, just to make it a little different, get a different grip on there. Rates are real moderate, real light. In the middle of a 3-day fast. I mean a 5-day fast, I'm on day 3. Feeling good, still able to podcast. Still able to lift, still able to do all this shit I need to do, I think. You're fasting like this, you're not gonna look as full and not going to look as thick and things like that, but just for a period of time. Just like you might have a period of time you're bulking for a meet, or you might have a period of time where you're shredding up for a picture or bodybuilding show. Just for a period of time. I can't take credit for the different things that I do weekly, monthly, yearly. It's because I have a good team around me. I got great support. I have a great family, a great brother, a great dad, and a great wife. My employees are amazing. What I can give myself credit for is that it's an environment that I help contribute to and that I help build. It's a community. And it's really rare to see somebody walk in here 30 minutes late to a meeting being like, hey guys, what's up? The reason why it's rare is because that doesn't even exist here. We don't have anybody on the team that's like that. We do have somewhat of a cash environment, but even with the casual environment, the people that are here are such fucking beasts that they get here early. They end up leaving here late. They put in the extra time, the extra work. If you want to be good at something, that's one thing. You'll probably need to work at it occasionally over the course of a week, in months and years and so on. You'll be pretty good at it. But if you want to be great at something, you take the greatest effort of your life. You have to work really hard at it. It don't have to be something that somebody probably once in a while pulls you aside and says, hey man, I think you're doing a little too much. And we can run into that in our fitness. And in this case, this 5-day fast is kind of like that. And some of the health and some of the strength pursuits I've had in the past are like that. And so you can get caught up in it, but how hard or how far will you ever learn to go unless you brush up against and even sometimes go past that point where you're really on the brink and you're going to break? I got to be honest with you, there's no better feeling. That fall with 1,085 was probably my greatest powerlifting feat of all time. Probably the coolest thing that I'll ever do. The benching of 854 pounds was fun. The squatting of 1,080 was fun. Some of the raw bench presses were fun. But that fall taught me more about myself than any other thing I physically have ever done. And keep in mind, I beat John Cena one-on-one in the ring more than once. You can look it up in UPW. Me and John Cena locked horns and we went at it many, many times. And I came out victorious more than once. He won a couple times, but they do say, Ric Flair says, to be the man, you gotta beat the man. And at one point, I beat the man. But even more important than that was that battle with 1,085. I learned so much about myself in that process. I learned about what I do with failure. I learned about how I treat my success. It made me challenge everything that I was doing. It made me think that everything that I was doing was wrong at the time. That moment, if I didn't push as hard as I was pushing, if I wasn't trying to squat 1,110 pounds at that meet, I would have never fell at that weight. I would have never earned and learned a lot of the things that I learned. Now today, that's something that separates me out from the talkers versus the doers. I would be lumped in a crowd of the doers rather than just the people that talk about it. The people that talk about going hard, I want you to question, where are they going hard? Are they going hard in a meeting? Because that doesn't seem to be very difficult. Or are they taking their mind to different places through the burn and the torture of physical activity in some cases, like a David Goggins, like you hear Joe Rogan talk about with his workouts, like you see The Rock doing with his workouts. Those are the people I'm inspired by, because those are people who weren't scared to brush up against their greatness. They weren't scared to pour their heart and soul into everything as much as they possibly could, and so what, they got burned for it. At least they fucking put in the effort. At least they went for it. And in the end, what happens? You end up becoming a better, stronger person in the long run anyway. And when you sit on the couch and when you don't end up doing a lot of things with yourself, you're gonna be broken, you're gonna be beat, you're gonna be defeated, you're gonna feel hurt, you're gonna have injuries, you're gonna run into all kinds of issues in your life. Whether you're sitting there on the couch trying to hide from them, or you're out there being active like someone like a Jocko Willing. Whether you're out there on the front lines or whether you're behind the scenes, you're gonna end up with a bad back. You're gonna end up with an injury here or there regardless. So why not live your life like a savage? And why not put one foot in front of the other? Why not see what your body's capable of doing? Because when you see what your body's capable of, you start to learn what your mind is capable of. And so what? You run into 1,085 and it knocks you on your ass. You get back up, you dust yourself off, and you continue to moving forward like a goddamn juggernaut. Strength is never weakness, weakness is never strength. Catch you guys later.